Good evening, students.
Good evening, Miss.
Good evening.
How are you this evening? I hope everyone is doing well.
Yes,
You're
I'm doing
quite
very good.
fine here.
Okay, so today we are going to be exploring the interior savannah virtually, right? So here on the slide, I would like you to look at these 6 pictures that I have. Carefully observe these pictures, and I want you to tell me what message do you think these pictures are saying about the interior savannah. Take your time, observe them carefully, and then you'll give me a feedback. Anyone ready to share their answer?
Yes, Miss. One pictures showcasing the wildlife found within the interior savannah.
Very good. And which picture is that?
That's the giant anteater.
Excellent. Anybody else?
The other picture there is showcasing activities the humans do in the interior savannah. As I can see there in the picture, there's a man rounding up his cattle. I think that is based on cattle rearing.
Excellent. You're very correct. So all of these pictures here are telling us, or they are showing us the features of the interior savannah where it comes to the wildlife of the interior savannah, the activities that humans engage in the interior savannah, and so forth. All right, so let us move on and look at the definition of what is the interior savannah. Can I have one volunteer to read what I have here on the screen?
I'll read, Miss.
Okay. I'll read, Miss. What is the interior savannah? The interior savannah is divided into the North and South Rupununi. The North savannas consist of gently rolling grasslands with clumps of trees, while the South savannas are larger and more mountainous.
Very good. So here it gives us a very brief description of what the interior savanna looks like, right? The interior savanna, as it says here, is divided by the Kanaku Mountains into the North and the South Rupununi, right? That is why a lot of people know the interior savanna as the Rupununi. So in the North savannas, most of the time you would find the vast lands of grass with clumps of trees, whereas in the South savannas, we have more mountainous areas, right? So as you can see in the background there, that is an image showing you what an interior savanna looks like. On this slide here, I have a map there. This is the map of Guyana, showing the 4 natural regions of our country. And as you can see there, which color is depicting the interior savanna that we are talking about?
It's the yellow one, Miss.
The yellow one, Miss.
So you will see it with a key there below. The yellow one says Rupununi savannas, which is also known as the interior savannas, right? So that is where the interior savannas are located, the yellow, and that is the smallest natural region that we have. Now we are going to explore the key features of the interior savanna. in this lesson here, we are going to look at 3 key features. The first one that we are going to look at is the vegetation or the plants that we commonly come across or that is found in the interior savanna. Here we have 2 pictures. Are you familiar with these pictures? Have you ever seen these plants before?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Miss.
All right. So
Yes,
here
Miss.
on the left-hand side, it is called the bulbous stylus paradoxa. It is a plant that you usually, or it's a grass, a type of grass that you usually find in the savannas, the South savannas especially, and you would usually see them after the savannas born. They would flower and bloom, right? I'm sure you're familiar with that one. And on the right-hand side, we have what we call the sandpaper tree, right? So these are 2 of some of the common plants that we usually come across or that we usually see in the vast grasslands of the interior savanna. Here we have 2 more other pictures that are showing us plants that we usually find along swampy areas or along riverbeds. And these 2 plants we have here on the left-hand side, the Ite palm trees, and on our right, we have the Awara palm trees. Now we are going to talk a little bit about the wildlife of the interior savanna. What do you see in that picture there?
A
Which
giant
wildlife is there?
A giant ant.
Excellent. It's a giant anteater, right? So here we have more of those wildlife that we will come across in the interior savanna. We have the Jabiru stark, we have the black caiman, which will most likely dwell in the Rupununi River. We have the jaguar that would you would find in the mountainous areas of the interior savanna. We have the giant otter there, the Arapaima, which is, as we all know, it's the one of the, it is the largest freshwater fish, and it is found in the Rupununi River, right? Then we have there the giant anteater roaming the grasslands, the vast grasslands of the interior savanna. Can you tell me what do you think this giant anteater feeds on? What do you think it eats?
I think it
Ants.
eats them.
Yes, it feeds on ants, right? So it's not a dangerous animal. And then we will move on into the human activities that people usually engage in the interior savanna. Like at the beginning, we said that persons do cattle rearing. And here we have more pictures showing us who are these people? Who you think are these people that we see in these pictures?
Vaqueros.
They are called vaqueros. Excellent, right? And these persons work where we have ranches for like for example the Dadnawa ranch that we have in the South Rupununi. Some of these vaqueros may be from those same ranches, right? And here in this picture we are seeing that they are doing their work where they are rounding up cows. What do you see in this one here? What are people doing in these 3 pictures here?
In the first picture, I see a cassava farm. And in the second picture, we can see there that they are coming home bringing their produce, such as the cassava. And in the third picture, I can see the woman there is tending to her crops.
Excellent. Right, so these pictures here are showing us that these persons are engaging in farming activities, right? And which plant do you see in these pictures?
Cassava, miss.
Which plant? Cassava plant, right? So this is what the persons usually grow in their farms, the cassava. It's their main source of staple, right? So there are many things that they get from the cassava plant that they are that you see in the picture. What are some of the things that they get from these cassava plants, or the things that they make, the products?
Farine,
Yes,
cassava
we
bread.
cassava bread,
Cassiri.
cassiri, and so many more, right? That we make use of. All right. So now I have an activity for you, and I would like you to participate in this activity. So in this activity, it says here, I would like you to choose a role as one of these persons. You can either choose to be a fisherman, a vaquero, or a farmer. And then you're going to describe your role. I'll give you a couple seconds to think about it, gather your thoughts so that you can share it with the class. Is anyone ready to share their answer?
Yes, miss.
All right, go ahead.
Well,
What are you choosing?
choose to be a farmer.
Okay, describe your role as a farmer.
Well, as a farmer, miss, I plant different crops every day. Sometimes, the main ones, the cassava, the peanut, sometimes bananas, and that is where I get my living from for my daily life to maintain my family. So, yes.
Excellent. That is very true. This is one of the main livelihoods of the people in the interior savannah. That is one of the ways that they earn their income, right? Next person.
Al Gomez. I'm a vaquero, and my main job is to do cattle rearing. I round up cattle and I make sure that my cattle are healthy, and I supply the people with meat whenever they need it.
Excellent. That is very true. That is the correct role of who a vaquero is and what they do, right? Next person. So we have the fisherman, right? So we had the farmer, we had the vaquero. Now let's hear from the fisherman.
Okay. As a fisherman, my role is to catch fish and other my role is to catch fish and to support my family and maybe my community, like in food supply and economy.
Yes, Miss, continue.
Okay. My work also involves preserving the health of aquatic ecosystem for future generations.
I like that. It's very true. There are a lot of persons now within the interior savannah that that are trying to save the largest freshwater fish that we have, right? And that is where I think you're coming from. All right, excellent. I love all your answers. It tells me that you understand what are some of the key features of the interior savanna and the importance. So let us do a brief review here. We have 3 questions here. What is a savanna? Name one plant that you learned just now that is found in the interior savanna, and name one animal found in the in the interior savanna. So who would like to go ahead and answer the first question? What is a savanna? In your own words, describe it. It doesn't have to be a long answer or a long description.
A savanna is a flat grassy plain that is mostly covered with grass and scattered trees and some rolling hills. That's what I understand from the lesson.
All right, that is very correct. Anybody else would like to answer the second one? Let's have another person to answer the second question. It's very easy. You just have to name one plant that you learned that is usually found in the interior savanna.
This one plant that is found in the interior savanna is the sandpaper tree. Find it almost everywhere.
Very good. It's the most common one. We see them all around in the interior savanna. Isn't that so?
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
All right, so we have one last question for you to name one animal found in the interior savanna.
One animal found in the interior savanna is the giant anteater.
Excellent. The giant anteater, the very famous giant anteater, right? Found in the most of the times it is found in the southern part of the interior savanna, the South Rupununi. Excellent. All right, class. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Did you enjoy this lesson?
Yes, miss.
Yes,
All right.
miss.
Thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of the evening.